Children, now coming to the next topic, war with the Marathas, or we will know about the story of the Maratha Empire first of all. The Marathas' vision was to capture Delhi. From the late 18th century, the company also sought to curb and eventually destroy Maratha power with their defeat in the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761. The Marathas' dream of ruling from Delhi was shattered. They were divided into many states under different chiefs, belonging to dynasties such as Scindias, Holkars, Gaikwads, and Bhosles. These chiefs were held together in a confederacy. The term confederacy means alliance under a Peshwas. Peshwas were the principal ministers who became its effective military and administrative head based in Pune. And in this concern, Mahadji Scindia and Nana Fadnis were the two famous Maratha soldiers and statesmen of the late 18th century. No doubt the Marathas were the major power in the front of the company. For late 18th century, the company also sought to curb and eventually destroy Maratha power. Students, Marathas were not defeated in the single war. The Marathas were subdued in a series of wars. In the first war that ended in 1782 with the Treaty of Salbai, there was no clear victor. The second Anglo-Maratha War, which was fought in 1803-5, was fought on the different fronts, resulting in the British gaining Orissa and the territories of the north of Yamuna River, including Agra and Delhi. And finally, the Third Anglo-Maratha War of 1817-19 crushed Maratha power. The Peshwas were removed and sent away to Bithur near Kanpur with a pension. The company now had complete control over the territories south to the Vindhyas. Children, now we will know one of the other policy of British, that is the claim to paramountcy. It is clear from the above from early 19th century the company pursued an aggressive policies of territorial expansion. Under Lord Hastings, Governor-General at that time 1813 to 1823, a new policy of paramountcy was initiated. Now the company claimed that its authority was paramount. The term paramount means supreme, or they claimed that its authority was paramount or supreme. Hence, its power was greater than of Indian states. In order to protect its interest, it was justified in annexing or threatening to annexed any Indian kingdom. This view continued to guide later British policies as well. This process, however, did not go unchallenged. For example, when the Britishers tried to annex the small state of Kittur in Karnataka, Rani Chammama took the arms and led an anti-British resistance movement. She was arrested in 1824 and died in prison in 1829. But Rayanaya, a poor chowkidar of Sangoli in Kittur, carried on the resistance. With popular support, he destroyed many British camps and records. He was caught and hanged by the British in 1830. Children, but in late 1830s, the East India Company became worried about Russia. It imagined that Russia might expand across Asia and enter India from the northwest. Driven by this fear, the British now wanted to secure their control over the northwest, and for that they fought a prolonged war with Afghanistan between 1838 and 1842 and established indirect company rule there. Sindh was taken over in 1843. Next in line was Punjab, but the presence of Maharaja Ranjit Singh held back the company. After his death in 1839, two prolonged wars were fought with the Sikh kingdom, and ultimately in 1849, Punjab was also annexed by the Britishers. Children, now we are moving to the next policy of British, that is the doctrine of lapse. The final wave of annexation, which occurred under the Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General from 1848 to 1856. He devised a policy that come to be known as doctrine of lapse. The doctrine declared that if an Indian ruler died without a male heir, his kingdom would lapse. That is, it became part of company territory. One kingdom after another was annexed simply by applying this doctrine. Children, under the doctrine of lapse, many kingdoms were annexed simply by applying this doctrine, such as Satara in 1848, Sambalpur in 1850, Udaipur in 1852, Nagpur in 1853, Jhansi in 1854, and Awadh in 1856. During the annexation of Awadh, British had an added argument. And what was the argument? That they said that obliged by duty to take over Awadh in order to free the people from misgovernment of the Nawab. And in this way, and racked with humiliation, people of Awadh joined the Great Revolt of 1857. Children, here you can see these three maps which is telling about the British territories by the yellow color that was annexed by the British, or it was merged with the British territories during the different period of times. First map is showing the India in 1797. And the second, the British power in India in 1840s, and then third map, it is showing the British power in India in 1857. Children, in this way we once again on the questionnaire. My first question is, when the third battle of Panipat was fought? Second question, what was the result of the second Anglo-Maratha war? And third question, what was the objective behind the company's new policy of paramountcy? And fourth question, what was Lord Dalhousie's doctrine of lapse? And fifth question, name the kingdom which were annexed on the basis of doctrine of lapse. Now you start writing the answers of these questions and then send it to your subject teacher.